Hi, everyone. This is Jenny Moness from We Didn't Turn Out Okay podcast. Did you know at Great Wolf Lodge, there's adventure for the whole family? You and your pack can splash away in the indoor water park where it's always 84 degrees. There's a massive wave pool, a lazy river, and tons of water slides for your pack to enjoy together. And the fun doesn't stop there. Get ready to explore and play at adventure-packed attractions from Magi Quest, a live-action game that takes place throughout the lodge to the Northern Lights Arcade. There's also a bunch of great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. And the best part, with 23 lodges across the country, you're always only a short drive away from adventure. As a parent who loves family adventures, I love when everything's in one place. It's why I can't wait to take my family to Great Wolf Lodge. So bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Book your stay today at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
If your roof starts to leak or your floor's really squeak, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, live in a money pit. Money pit.
Pick up the telephone, fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
The Money Pit is presented by Ladera by Pavestone and Quickcrete. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I'm Leslie Segretti, joined as always by my partner in crime, Jim Kenzie. How's it going, Jim?
It's going tremendous, Leslie. I had a great summer and fall's here, and I'm getting stoked because I dig fall.
I know, it's like the best season. It's so pretty, everything smells nice, and it's like full of all exciting things to come, you know?
Yeah, you put a ball game on the radio and get some work done around the house. That's what I do.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love it. What are you working on, Jim? Any projects around the house this season?
Yeah, actually, I have to replace my entire front door.
Oof. Not a terrible one, but a great one.
Yeah, I'm going to be going to the folks at Therma-Tru here, who coincidentally live the factory. Their headquarters is like 6 miles from here. So I want to go check them out and see what they have. And it'll be a custom piece, but I want to, work with some local folks and
I love that.
See what happens. Yeah.
And with Therma-Tru, you can't go wrong with a high-quality fiberglass door that really looks outstanding and will give you, just sort of the best weather resistancy and look great while it's doing its job.
Yep, and I've been jealous of you and Tom's front doors and his back door. I think he had 2 Therma-Trus, and been jealous of you guys for years. So now I'm going to take my shot at a Therma-Tru, Leslie.
All right, I love it. Good stuff.
Move it on up.
All right, well, as I would tell anyone, on any listener, Jim, please post your photos on moneypit.com so I can take a look. Because I love to look at other people's houses all the time. All right, guys. Well, we've got a great show for you this hour. Coming up, are you wondering what the housing market will look like in 2026? Well, we've got some good news. Those mortgage rates are expected to ease. Home price growth is slowing, and more buyers will finally be able to get back in the game. So we're going to break down the latest projections and what they mean for homeowners planning to stay, sell, or shop for a new place. If real estate is on your radar, you don't want to miss it. And if you're looking for a weekend project that boosts both your curb appeal and your home safety, outdoor lighting is one of the easiest and most affordable ways to make your home shine after dark. We're going to share smart, stylish lighting upgrades that you can tackle in a weekend, from solar path lights to dramatic uplighting and more. And I love this one. If you think wallpaper is old school, think again. I have loved wallpaper for forever, and it's getting its scene again. Hooray! It's one of fall's biggest interior design trends. So we will share the bold colors, the cozy patterns, and the easy peel and stick styles that are making wallpaper the ultimate weekend project. Whether you're going full feature wall or just adding a touch of texture, will help you fall in love with wallpaper all over again. Hooray! So give us a call so I can convince you more that wallpaper is awesome at 888-MONEY-PIT, but we'll also talk about whatever you want to talk about. So, Jim, who's up first?
All right, out in California, we've got Ryan, who's not trying to catch a buzz. He's trying to get rid of a buzz. What's going on out there, Ryan?
I'm having a really bad problem with meat bees or yellow jackets with my cat food. I can't put my cat food out. I have traps all over the yard, everywhere, which they're filling up very fast, but I need some help with these bees. What can you do for me?
Oh, yeah. I feel like the bees or the yellow jackets get like extra aggressive this time of year, Ryan. And from what I've read, only because bizarrely, I saw a yellow jacket at night in the end of August in Vermont while I was roasting marshmallows. And I was like, weird. I've never seen a yellow jacket at night. And it said that they get super aggressive once the mating season has ended. And the only reason it may have been out at night is because it was on its way back to its house, or we were near its house and it saw the light on. You know, I had a little lantern out, and it came over and was like, hey, jerks, get out of my yard.
I'm trying to get my game on.
Yeah, they do get super aggressive towards the end of the summer, and that's why. And I can understand why you can't get into that spot in your yard. But what you could do is you could find a trap. There's one by a company called Rescue. I think it's called a trap stick. It's like a plastic basket. They're bright yellow, and they've got a tube inside of them that's covered with adhesive. And the wasp will sort of go into that basket and get stuck there. So those traps help you sort of depopulate the collection of wasps or bees in your area, so to speak. But it's not completely a way to eliminate those bees. I will say that if you have an area that has a lot of mosquitoes or biting flies, you don't want to kind of get rid of them because it will get rid of other things like butterflies and whatnot. So you want to have something that's sort of effective. Maybe if you can get some more wind to blow through that area. Bees can't seem to fly in the wind, which is very strange. So if you can open up some landscaping to get some more airflow through that space, you might find that they won't bother you or bother the cat food that much in that area. Maybe even just as simple as an oscillating fan to just kind of help keep the bees and the wasps moving from that area. But I know they seem so scary, and I can say this as a person who has been stung by a bee once. Like, I'm terrified of getting stung by a bee again. I don't know why. It wasn't terrible. I know I'm not allergic. It wasn't great. But yet I'm like you. I see a bee come near me in my yard, and I'm like, and I'm like running. But I think if you just get the air moving a little bit, and they follow you when you run. So that's a terrible idea. But I think if you just get it moving a little bit, you'll stop them from sort of landing on the cat food. And with the trap, you can sort of lessen the amount that are in your area. Sorry this is going on, but, soon it'll be cold and they'll be gone.
You are correct, Ms. Segretti.
All right. Thanks so much. Good luck with that. And your cat's going to thank you, too.
AI had the time of my life. I never felt this way before.
From building timelines to assigning the right people and even spotting risks across dozens of projects, Monday Sidekick knows your business, thinks ahead, and takes action. One click on the star and consider it done.
And I owe it all to you.
Try Monday Sidekick. AI you'll love to use on Monday.com.
Now we're heading to the volunteer state of Tennessee, where Lori's on the line with a question about a concrete floor. How can we help out, Lori?
The flooring that we have now, and it has some cracks. I want to know what I need to do to seal those cracks.
I mean, Lori, cracks in concrete are pretty typical, so I wouldn't get too upset that you have a crack or two in the surface. And if you want to repair those cracks, that's great. I mean, if it's something like a garage floor, you can patch those too. There are different products that are made specifically for repairing concrete. You're going to find them in a couple of different forms, in a tub and more like a caulking tube, and even in sort of like a stucco consistency. So it really depends on the type of crack or how badly cracked or how deteriorated it is. If it's super bad, you can look at a product like Recap, which is made by Quikrete. You kind of apply it to the old surface and it adheres perfectly, because that's the issue. When you're dealing with damaged concrete, you want the repair to stick and stay. And if it's a large sort of area of distress or issue and you put the new concrete on top of that, if it's straight concrete, it's never going to adhere. So most of these are polymers or sort of mixed materials that will really adhere well to that concrete. So if, for instance, you have a larger area, you definitely want to go with a Recap product. If you have something that's a smaller crack, you can go with something that fills it. If it's a wider crack, you're going to want to put, what is that, Jim? A backer board? Is that what they call it?
A backer rod, kind of like a swimming pool noodle, but smaller.
Yeah, they're like foamy and weird, and they come in different diameters, and you would kind of stuff that into the crack first and then put that repair product on top to sort of give it an area to really adhere to, but not also be just, a deep fill of the repair product.
Using 35 tubes, yeah.
Yeah, like, I'll stuff this all down there. So you just have to kind of look at how large, how bad, where, and then you can determine the best product for that. But there are repair products for concrete, and you want to make sure that they're made specifically to repair and resurface because you want it to stick. But it's not a difficult project. It doesn't mean everything's falling apart. Now, if you were to say, oh, geez, it's sunk in half a foot and it's really wide, or there's a lot, that's different. This is just superficial cracks and totally fixable. All right. Well, thanks so much for calling us at 888 Money Pit, Lori. Hey, Money Pit listeners, if we've saved you some time, money, or hassles with your projects, you would totally make our day by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Just go to moneypit.com/review. Hey guys, are you ready to roll up your sleeves and look pretty darn good while doing it? Well, we have teamed up with our friends at Quikrete and Pavestone to give one lucky Money Pit listener a $50 gift card, not for tools or materials, but this time it's for some seriously cool Quikrete merch. You can check everything out at the Quikrete online merchandise store. Maybe you'll find an amazing hoodie or fleece vest or durable work shirt. You are going to be geared up in style while you are taking on your next DIY project. Quikrete, it's what America's made of, and now what your next workday outfit might be made of too. So give us a call for your chance to win. Jim, who's up next?
Chandler in Kentucky, you've got the Money Pit. How can we help you out today?
My question for you is, when it comes to insulating a new home, I'm building a new home in Mayfield, and I would like to know what's the best route. I want to do a total encapsulation of the entire envelope of the house, but I don't want it to cook my shingles in the hot summers and stuff. I don't want to have a vented roof system or anything. I feel like that's a very outdated method, but I just don't know, and I don't know any contractors that are educated enough to give me an answer. So I'd really like to have some perspective from y'all on what would be the best approach as far as having a great insulation value, but not cooking your shingles in the summer with that hot Kentucky heat that we can normally get.
Yeah, Chandler, this question kind of comes up over and over again. And I think that the roofing shingle manufacturers sort of started this because they've told folks that their warranties will be voided unless they vent the attic. But the truth is you can go ahead and spray foam on the inside of your attic and the entire building envelope with absolutely no fear whatsoever that this is going to shorten the lifespan of those roofing shingles. What would shorten your roof shingles lifespan about 10 times rather than the insulation is simply having a darker shingle. If you look at a white roof versus a black roof, the white roof is going to reflect more UV than the black roof. So that kind of thing really would impact a shingle life, not whether you use spray foam insulation on the back side of it. Now, there have been some people that have done some really detailed studies on this. And if I remember everything sort of correctly, I think the increase in temperature of that sheathing was only about 3% because of the spray foam, which is completely insignificant there. So I would have no worries whatsoever about a shortened shingle life. That is hard to say. A shortened shingle life by using spray foam insulation, which is, by the way, kind of the best insulation for the attic. It seals, it insulates, it makes your home super comfortable. So I think that's a win-win. I think you're not going to see a tremendous reduction in the shingle life of your roof. So I say go for it. All right, Chandler, good luck with that project. Thanks so much for calling us at 888 Money Pit. Well, if you're thinking about moving, remodeling, or refinancing in the next year or two, the 2026 housing market forecast might just shape your plans more than you think. The good news is we're finally seeing signs of stabilization in both home prices and mortgage rates, and that opens the door for smart moves now that will pay off down the road. Now, after several years of rate hikes and affordability challenges, forecasts from both Fannie Mae and the National Association of Realtors suggest that mortgage rates could drop to around 6% by the end of 2026. Let's hope. I mean, that's a major shift from the peaks we've seen in the past year or so when rates climbed as high as 7.5% or more. And why does that matter? Because when the rates fall, affordability goes up, and that brings more buyers into the market. Now, the National Association of Realtors projects that a 6% rate could make homeownership possible for an additional 5.5 million households and potentially potentially generate 550,000 more home sales per year,
Nice.
which is awesome because people have just felt stuck. They can't move, they can't buy. What are you going to do? But even with that improved affordability, it's unlikely that we'll see a return to the sky-high bidding wars of recent years. Now, home prices, slower growth, more stability. After this roller coaster sort of years of run-up pricing post-pandemic, the market is cooling off a bit. And Fannie Mae predicts that home prices will rise just 1.1% in 2026, while Zillow is expecting an increase of less than 0.5%. And we were seeing skyrocketing increases. I mean, it was amazing. So I'm not saying they're going to come down, but you're not going to see a house jump up hundreds of thousands of dollars. It will a little bit, but it's already at that increased price. Now, that's actually a good thing for most home buyers and for owners. It means that the market is finding its footing. You're not going to be priced out by dramatic spikes. Sellers should expect more modest gains, and buyers can enter the market with a little less urgency and a lot more negotiation power. So what should you be doing now? If you're thinking of selling, this fall and winter are the time to prep your home, address those small upgrades with big returns on investments like sealing a driveway, updating your entryway, modernizing a kitchen or bath. If you're planning to buy or refinance, just stay close to your credit score and get pre-qualified. If the rates dip in 2026, you're going to be in a strong position to act quickly. And if you're staying put, use the next 12 to 18 months to invest in smart improvements that will make your home more comfortable and more energy efficient. So attic insulation, smart thermostats, landscaping, those will all add value. Bottom line, the 2026 housing market is shaping up to be far less volatile, and that's a win all around for homeowners, sellers, and buyers alike. It seems to be that there are some fair changes ahead, which is a good thing. All right, Jim, let's get back to the phones.
Valerie in Arkansas is with us, Leslie. How can we help out with your flooring quandary?
I have some ceramic tiles on the floor that have cracked, and it's just a hairline crack. But I was wondering if there was a way to repair those or if they have to be completely replaced.
Oh, Valerie, I hate to tell you this. You can't really repair a cracked ceramic tile. Once it's cracked, it's kind of always cracked. The question, though, is, can you remove that cracked tile and replace it? Yes, you can. The question also there is, do you have more of that existing tile? If you do, hooray, because you'll probably break more than that one in trying to remove it to fix the area.
Oh, done it before, have you, Leslie?
Maybe. Maybe
but
that's but that's what really is the situation here, Valerie. You would want to remove that tile. If the crack is so bothering you, remove that tile. Make any necessary repairs. You'll kind of get rid of the existing grout that's in there and then add more mastic and put the tiles back into what you have cracked and removed and then regrout. You may have to regrout or clean the existing grout in the rest of the room just to kind of have colors match, but that's totally up to you. I would, of course, be a nut and be like, I'm going to remove all the grout and regrout the whole floor, and that is a process. So try cleaning it first before you go that route. Now, the other issue is if you don't have any extra tile, you could do a Google search. You can do a reverse image search of that tile and try to find something that seems close to it. You can adopt a new pattern and put a different color in that one spot or a different tone or enlarge the area and make sort of a focal point of something else. It's up to you, but there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. The other thing is make sure that the area under the floor is level because you want to make sure that there isn't more movement because the reason that tile cracked is because that subfloor had some movement to it. And once it starts to move, you get the crack. Or perhaps it wasn't quite sitting flush in that tile adhesive because there was some evenness on the floor underneath. There's a couple of different reasons. So you do want to address all of that before you go and take the time.
Well, sometimes it's really tough to match tile.
If you're lucky enough to have anything that has the manufacturer on it or any sort of clue as to where it came from, that's helpful. But if not, you can, and you can reach out to that manufacturer and be like, I bought this tile. Here's a picture. Do you have more? Do you have overstock? Do you have any that you were trying to get rid of? There are a couple of places that you can research online also that would make a tile. I mean, this is only like if this tile and this floor is like so precious to you that you can't make a change, that you want it, because it is pricey for them to remake a tile. Or a replica thereof. But there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, and it's not the end of the world, okay?
More rewards, more savings. With American Express Business Gold, earn up to $395 back in annual statement credits on eligible purchases at select shipping, food delivery, and retail subscription merchants, including the $155 Walmart Plus monthly membership credit and $240 flexible business credit. Enjoy the benefits of membership with the Amex Business Gold Card. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
What are you guys working on? Give us a call anytime at 888-MONEY-PIT. And once you call, we're going to help you out with your project. But we've got a great prize up for grabs. Are you ready to look good while doing all of your home improvements? Well, we have teamed up with our friends at Quikrete and Pavestone to give one lucky Money Pit listener a $50 gift card for some seriously cool Quikrete merch. That's right. You can head on over to the Quikrete online merch store and pick out a branded hoodie, a fleece vest, a durable work shirt, maybe even a hat. You're going to be geared up in style while you are taking on those DIY projects. One winner is going to score the ultimate mix of function and fashion, all thanks to the team that brings you the products pros trust. Quikrete, what America's made of, and now what your next workday outfit might be made of too. So give us a call for your chance to win. Well, as the days get shorter and the nights come earlier, outdoor lighting becomes more than just a design element. It's a practical upgrade that makes your home safer, more inviting, and more functional after dark. And the good news, you don't need a pro or a big budget to make that happen. So let's walk through some easy exterior lighting upgrades that you can tackle in just a weekend. Now, path and garden lighting. You can start simple there with solar stake lights. You just push them into the soil along the walkways, the driveways, or the garden edges. They soak up the sunlight all day and give you a nice soft glow by night, all with no wiring. Maybe a motion sensor security light. If your driveway or side yard is just a little too dark, adding that motion activated LED floodlight above the garage or the back door. Many models are battery powered or solar, so that installation is going to be fast and cordless. And bonus, they will also deter intruders. String lights, I love them. They provide instant ambiance. They add charm to patios and porches. Those cafe style lights, you just string them across the seating area or between posts. And if you don't have posts or an area, you can get posts that go right into a container to string those lights on. It's fantastic. You want to make sure that you use outdoor rated cords and clips, and consider dimmable or smart options just for some extra flair. It will instantly turn your backyard into your favorite hangout spot. Now, if you want to show off a beautiful tree or stonework or columns, you can think about uplighting that landscaping or that architecture with low voltage uplights. They can be staked into the ground and then angled upward to give you that dramatic effect, like your home just got like a designer's touch. It really does change how that home appears with just some simple lighting. And don't forget about your deck and stair lighting. It adds safety, but it also adds style. You can add LED step lights or strip lights beneath that deck railing or along the stairs. Many of these options are going to be peel and stick. Some are screw mounted and plug into a basic transformer. Think about sconces or wall fixtures as well. You can swap out those outdated porch lights for new smart sconces. They're easier than it sounds. You can pick an outdoor rated model with the built-in dusk to dawn sensor or full app control, and then you can enjoy lighting exactly when and how you want it. And sticking with LED fixtures, they're going to be energy efficient, they'll be long lasting, and you can find them in a ton of styles and finishes that will match your home's vibe. Bottom line here is that outdoor lighting doesn't have to be complicated. Whether you're aiming for cozy, secure, or just simply well lit, you can make a big impact in just a weekend. All perfect to extend those cozy times outdoors. All right, Jim, let's get back to the phones.
All right, Leslie, Tom left us an email message regarding some plumbing issue outside the house. Let's give it a listen.
Hi, I have a question about the spigots on the outside of the house. They're over 20 years old and seem to be pretty leaky. If I can buy a kit to just make them not leak anymore, if they should be replaced.
Yeah, Tom, that definitely happens with older faucets. The seal just kind of wears out. In terms of a kit, there are PEX kits out there that are designed to kind of replace that old house bib, and you might be able to use it if you're familiar with that process. Before you dive in, make sure that there is a shutoff valve for that specific faucet on the inside of your house so that you can turn the water off, and then you may be able to cut that old pipe out and insert a new PEX-based exterior faucet. PEX is cross-linked polyethylene piping. It's got various valves and fixtures available to go with it. It's really easy to join that into old copper piping, and you can do so in a way that's not going to leak, and that will give you new functioning outdoor faucets to use from that point forward. Remember, though, regardless of whether it's PEX or not, you have to turn those faucets off outside, those hose bibs, in the wintertime, because if you don't, that is a great area that will freeze quickly and then burst and break and cause a tremendous mess once the water sort of thaws inside. I always turn off the spigot from the inside and then go back outside and open that faucet as well, just to kind of get any excess water out. And any water sitting in the hose, if you have that still connected, needs to come out as well. It's just a recipe for disaster, and it takes 2 seconds. Well, I have to empty a closet to get to that. So it's more of a pain in the butt, but I always make sure I do it because it would be a larger pain in the butt if it froze and burst. So definitely you can change it. Always turn it off and drain it for the winter season, and you're going to have a great project for yourself and one you'll feel really good about doing. All right. Thanks so much for reaching us at moneypit.com. Well, we've got a great show for you every day, every week, whenever you want to listen to it. If you check out the Money Pit podcast, you can download them anywhere you get your podcasts, and we're working up some fun changes in the near future. So always give us a listen. And remember, if you've got a project that you need to figure out immediately, head on over to moneypit.com, do a search. We have a ton of content there over the years that will help you get to the bottom line quickly and figure out how you can tackle your to-dos with confidence. Give us a call anytime at 888-MONEYPIT. Well, if you think wallpaper is stuck in your grandmother's dining room, think again. Wallpaper is back big time, and no one is happier than me. And fall is really the best season to experiment with it. Why? Because when the weather cools down, we all start spending more time indoors, and a bold wall makeover is the perfect cozy design upgrade. So let's dig into the top wallpaper trends for this fall and how you can use them in your very own spaces. Now, bold, moody colors are in. We are seeing deep greens, rust, terracotta, and inky blues take over wallpaper palettes. These shades bring warmth and richness to any room, especially a dining room, a bedroom, or a cozy home office. And don't be afraid to go dramatic, especially in a smaller space like a powder room or a reading nook, because wallpaper really, really shines in these small spots. Also, nature-inspired prints like botanical and woodland motifs, those are huge this season. So think oversized leaves, pine branches, wildflowers, and I love this, mushrooms. I just think mushrooms are adorable when they're cartoony and fun. They can really make a sophisticated design statement. I know mushrooms sound silly, but I think they are adorable. These patterns bring a grounding, calming vibe that reflect the outdoors just as the seasons are shifting. And you can choose a print that has a metallic accent or a matte texture just to give some depth and add light play, which is perfect for fall's moodier lighting. Now, statement walls and ceilings. Forget 4-wall coverage. A single wallpapered wall or ceiling can act like a giant piece of art. So behind the bed, the sofa, just the entryway, it creates instant drama. And truly, if you are bold, do the ceiling. Ceilings are having a serious moment, and there you can go for a subtle pattern which can totally transform the space. And peel and stick? Who cares? You want to use the glue? Amazing. You don't want to? No problem. Peel and stick wallpaper has exploded in both style and quality. It is renter friendly. It's easy to apply. It's easy to change. You could swap it out seasonally if you want to. And yes, there are peel and stick versions in high-end finishes like grass cloth, linen texture, embossed styles. I love a good peel and stick wallpaper. I love the art of pattern matching. I find it so satisfying. And I mean, truly, honestly, I love working with wallpaper paste as well. So it doesn't matter. If you find one that's truly one method or another for attachment, don't be afraid. The wallpaper paste is pretty easy. And when they say bookmark the paper, that just means apply the paste and fold the paper over to itself. So bring both ends to meet the middle. So you've created this sort of soft package of wallpaper, and you just let it set up for as long as that adhesive says, and then go right to your wall. I mean, wallpaper truly is the ultimate fall design refresh. No paint fumes, no demo, just instant impact. Whether you're going to go bold with a moody floral, or subtle with a linen-inspired texture, or even whimsical with those woodland prints, this is the season to get it rolling. And trust me, once you start wallpapering, you will be hooked. I'm so excited. All right, Jim, let's get back to the phones.
Thank you from the National Wall Covering spokesperson, Leslie Segretti.
I wish if there was an association, give me a call. 888 Money Pit. I'm your gal. I have never let you down, wallpaper.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ever.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
Betty in Tennessee, you've got the Money Pit. What's going on?
For several weeks on end, we have temperatures from the mid-80s and up to almost 100. During that time, when it's really hot, there is mold that comes into my closet that leads to the attic stairs, and it comes out from a couple of vents in a couple of bathrooms and sort of on the ceiling in the hallway adjacent to the attic stairs.
Betty, are you sure it's mold and not something different? And the only reason I say this is because I see this sort of in my son's room. The attic is not cooled, and you have warm air up there. The room is cooled, and the hot air is rising, as it's cooling the room. And any sort of dust and anything in the air kind of circulates to the ceiling. And if there's any moisture or anything, it kind of sticks to the ceiling. So maybe what you're seeing is not mold, but it could just be this sort of issue with the airflow based on temperature differences.
Well, I don't think it's sticking to cooler parts because the closet that leads to the attic stairs, the heat is intense in there, and I try to leave the door open as much as I can.
All right, so if you do really think it's mold that's forming, it could potentially be in your duct system, which is a little bit unusual, but I'm wondering where else you might have had it. Have you had the whole system cleaned before, or the filters replaced on the system? Because that could be, that filter should be trapping those mold spores.
No, I just really didn't know what to do.
All right, well, here's what I would do if you really feel at a loss. I would have your HVAC system inspected by your heating and cooling company and see if they find any of these deposits on the inside of the system. If that's the case, you would have that system and the duct system thoroughly cleaned. And we don't normally recommend the duct cleaning unless you've done like a lot of construction, or maybe you've just moved into a property and you want to kind of start afresh. But this way, if they're finding any sort of mold spores in the ductwork or in the cooling system itself, you have to have that cleaned, and you want to make sure it's done by a professional so it doesn't get released into other parts of the house and then spread there. So that's what I would do.
Okay, who would be the professional?
Oh, yeah, the pro you're looking for is like an HVAC company. So if you have central air and you have it serviced, that would be the person you would reach out to. Or I would just reach out to the person who installed your HVAC system and say, hey, who do you recommend for a duct cleaning and a servicing of the unit? And they'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Thank you very much.
All right, hopefully it's nothing too crazy, Betty, okay? Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT. We're so glad you could join us this weekend. You know what I like to do once the kids are back in school? I like to put a little note in my calendar reminding me of daylight savings. I think it's like November 2nd or something this year. I know it's far off, but I kind of mentally make note of it. So I'm aware as things are getting darker earlier and the season's changing, I don't forget that it's coming. I wish at some point it would go away, but I know that's something for the Congress people to decide and not me. But just put a little note in there. Add it in today so you don't forget. All right, Jim, let's jump into our email inbox and see who we can help with a project that wrote in.
We can help Brad. He's working on a project, and he says, I'm building a new patio roof that's 24 feet wide and 20 feet deep. So, 480 square feet? Okay.
Yeah, good math.
Is there a way to overlap the rear roof of my house without connecting the patio roof to it? The patio roof will be supported by 9 6x6 posts, prefab bases on 2-foot concrete pylons. So the other one runs over it, right?
Yeah, it seems like sort of like an overlapping roof, almost like an umbrella. I mean, I don't know why you would want to do that, though. If the patio roof is high enough, you would want to tie it into the roof of your house, and it would actually be a lot stronger, too. It would give it a lot more structural strength, especially in that racking movement, which is sort of that side to side. It would just be stronger if you tie it into the roof. And if not, I mean, you could tie it under the roof to the exterior wall of the house. So one way or another, I wouldn't build this big structure as a standalone. You want to connect it for sure to make sure that you're doing it right, especially, you know, whatever you're putting under it. If it's sort of like an interior kind of look for a patio, I just think it's better to be connected. There's so many benefits to that. All right, Brad, thanks so much for reaching out to the Money Pit.
Leslie is sharing why the most important project you could take on this weekend might not be very practical at all, but it's very personal, and it's called the Comfort Project. And it's Leslie's Last Word edition with Leslie Segretti.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. You know, fall is the season of transition. The air turns crisp, the evenings get darker, and suddenly everything feels like it's speeding up. School is back, work is busier, and the holidays are just around the corner. But before we start that seasonal sprint, I want to give you a little reminder. Not every project has to be practical. Sometimes the most meaningful home updates are the ones that feed your soul, not your to-do list. Now, maybe for you, it's swapping out throw pillows for something soft and textured like velvet or chunky knit. Maybe it's lighting a candle that smells like baked apples and cinnamon. Or maybe it's finally hanging those family photos that you've had tucked in a drawer, or sitting down with a cozy blanket and a cup of tea and doing nothing at all. Whatever it is, I call it the Comfort Project. It doesn't need a permit, a budget, or even a plan, just a little intention and a moment to ask yourself, what would make my home feel better today? Fall is the perfect time to carve out space for warmth, for rest, for joy, because your home doesn't just work hard, it holds you. And sometimes the best thing that you can do for it is just say thank you. So that's my gift to you guys. Just relax and enjoy your homes in every which way you like. Well, that's a wrap for this hour of the Money Pit. From building cozy fire pits to refreshing fall wallpaper trends and even embracing a comfort project that's just for you, we've got smart ways to make your home more beautiful, functional, and feel good for the season. We love spending time with you, and we're so glad you joined us here on the Money Pit. We'll see you next week, but remember, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show. Pick up the telephone. Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
Monday Sidekick, the AI agent that knows you and your business, thinks ahead, and takes action. Ask it anything. Seriously. Monday Sidekick, AI you'll love to use. Start a free trial today on Monday.com.
Doug. Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.